When the divine masculine steps away from a twin flame connection and breaks the soul contract, the divine feminine is often left facing a profound spiritual and emotional shift. This experience can feel like a deep rupture, stirring intense emotions and awakening hidden parts of the self. Yet, beneath the pain and confusion lies an opportunity for profound growth, transformation, and empowerment. Understanding what happens during this phase is essential, as it allows the divine feminine to navigate her journey with clarity, grace, and strength. The twin flame bond is unique because it reflects the soul's desire for unity, not only with another, but within oneself. When the divine masculine distances himself or steps away from the path they were destined to walk together, the divine feminine is called to turn inward, rediscover her essence, and deepen her connection to her own spiritual power. This journey is not about waiting or longing. It is about rising, healing, and stepping into one's fullest potential. Today, we'll uncover the key transformations that occur within the divine feminine during this pivotal phase of her twin flame journey. When the divine masculine breaks the soul contract, the divine feminine is often met with a surge of intense emotions: grief, confusion, anger, and longing. This emotional upheaval is not a sign of weakness. Rather, it is the soul's way of bringing buried wounds and unhealed traumas to the surface, inviting the divine feminine to heal on a deeper level than ever before. These emotions may stem from this lifetime or past lifetimes, as twin flame connections often awaken karmic wounds that have been carried through multiple incarnations. The sudden absence of the divine masculine acts as a catalyst, triggering feelings of abandonment, rejection, and unworthiness that may have long been suppressed. Though this phase can be incredibly painful, it serves a vital purpose. It clears away the emotional baggage that has been holding the divine feminine back from fully stepping into her power. During this time, it is essential for the divine feminine to honor her emotions rather than suppress them. Allowing herself to feel the full spectrum of her emotions without judgment creates space for deep healing to occur. This process requires patience and compassion, as healing cannot be rushed. Each wave of emotion, no matter how intense, carries with it a lesson and an opportunity for growth. Through this emotional release, the divine feminine begins to free herself from patterns of codependency, self-doubt, and fear. She learns that her worth is not determined by the presence or absence of her divine masculine, but by the infinite light within her. As the layers of pain are peeled away, she reconnects with her true essence, a being of unconditional love, strength, and wisdom. This phase of deep emotional healing is not the end of the journey. It is the foundation upon which the divine feminine builds her next chapter. By facing her shadows and healing her wounds, she becomes a beacon of light, capable of transforming her pain into power and her sorrow into strength. As the initial wave of grief begins to subside, the divine feminine experiences a profound awakening of inner strength and independence. This transformation is not about becoming hardened or closed off. It is about discovering the unbreakable core of strength that has always existed within her. When the divine masculine steps away, the divine feminine is often forced to confront aspects of herself that she may have previously relied on her counterpart to fulfill. This includes emotional support, validation, and a sense of purpose. Though this can initially feel like a loss, it ultimately leads to the realization that everything she seeks from outside sources already exists within her. This newfound strength is not born from resistance or denial. It arises from a deep inner knowing that she is whole and complete within herself. As she learns to stand firmly in her power, she becomes less dependent on external circumstances to define her sense of self. This shift is transformative, as it allows her to move through life with confidence, grace, and unwavering self-assurance. During this phase, the divine feminine often discovers new passions, talents, and interests that had previously been overshadowed by her focus on the twin flame connection. This period of self-exploration and growth serves as a reminder that her purpose extends far beyond the twin flame journey. Whether through creative expression, career pursuits, or spiritual practices, she begins to cultivate a life that is rich, fulfilling, and deeply aligned with her soul's calling. Importantly, this awakening of inner strength does not mean that the divine feminine no longer desires union with her divine masculine. Rather, it allows her to release the need for that union as a source of happiness and fulfillment. By embracing her independence and recognizing her own worth, she becomes a magnet for all that is meant to be, including the possibility of reunion, should it be part of her soul's path. The breaking of the twin flame soul contract often acts as a catalyst for profound spiritual awakening within the divine feminine. Stripped of the external validation and companionship that the divine masculine once provided, she is compelled to deepen her connection to the divine source, the ultimate source of love, wisdom, and guidance. This phase is marked by an increased sensitivity to spiritual energy, heightened intuition, and a deeper understanding of the interconnectedness of all things. The divine feminine may find herself drawn to meditation, energy healing, and other spiritual practices that nurture her soul and expand her consciousness. Through these practices, she begins to perceive the twin flame journey not as a test of endurance, but as a sacred path of self-discovery and enlightenment. As her spiritual awareness expands, the divine feminine gains clarity about the true nature of her connection with the divine masculine. She comes to understand that their bond transcends the physical realm and is rooted in the eternal essence of the soul. This awareness brings a sense of peace and acceptance, allowing her to release attachment to specific outcomes and trust in the divine timing of her journey. Additionally, this period of spiritual growth often leads to a deepening of the divine feminine's soul purpose. As she aligns more fully with her spiritual path, she becomes a beacon of light and wisdom for others, sharing her insights and experiences in a way that uplifts and inspires those around her. This sense of purpose brings a profound sense of fulfillment, reinforcing the understanding that her journey is about more than the pursuit of union. It is about becoming the fullest expression of her divine essence. One of the most transformative aspects of this phase is the process of releasing attachment and surrendering to divine timing. When the divine masculine breaks the soul contract, the divine feminine is often confronted with feelings of powerlessness and frustration. The future she once envisioned with her counterpart may now feel uncertain or out of reach, leading to a sense of loss and disillusionment. Yet, within this uncertainty lies a profound spiritual lesson: the art of surrender. Surrender is not about giving up or abandoning the twin flame journey. It is about releasing the need to control the outcome and trusting that everything is unfolding according to a higher divine plan. This requires the divine feminine to let go of expectations, timelines, and attachment to specific outcomes, allowing herself to flow with the natural rhythm of life. This process of surrender is both liberating and empowering. By releasing the weight of attachment, the divine feminine frees herself from the emotional turmoil that often accompanies the twin flame journey. She learns to find peace and joy in the present moment, trusting that whatever is meant for her will come to her in divine timing. This shift in perspective allows her to move forward with grace and confidence, knowing that her path is guided by a force greater than herself. Importantly, surrender does not mean abandoning hope for reunion. Rather, it creates the space for true union to occur, free from the limitations of fear, doubt, and attachment. When the divine feminine releases her grip on the outcome, she aligns herself with the flow of divine energy, allowing her twin flame connection to unfold naturally and harmoniously. As the divine feminine moves through the phases of healing, awakening, and surrender, she ultimately emerges into a new chapter of her soul's journey, one defined by empowerment, purpose, and unconditional love. This transformation marks the culmination of her inner work as she steps fully into her divine essence and embraces the limitless potential within her. In this new chapter, the divine feminine no longer defines herself solely by her connection to the divine masculine. While the bond remains a sacred part of her journey, it no longer holds power over her sense of self or her ability to experience joy and fulfillment. She has learned to create a life that is rich, vibrant, and aligned with her highest truth, one that reflects the boundless love and wisdom of her soul. This phase often brings a renewed sense of clarity and purpose as the divine feminine aligns more fully with her soul's mission. Whether through creative expression, spiritual teaching, or acts of service, she steps into her role as a healer, guide, and light worker, using her experiences to uplift and inspire others. This sense of purpose brings a deep sense of fulfillment, reinforcing the understanding that her journey is about more than the pursuit of union. It is about becoming the fullest expression of her divine essence. Though the future may still hold the possibility of reunion with the divine masculine, the divine feminine no longer waits or longs for this outcome. She trusts that if and when the time is right, their paths will cross once more. Until then, she continues to walk her path with grace, knowing that she is whole, complete, and infinitely loved, just as she is. When the divine masculine breaks the twin flame soul contract, it marks a pivotal turning point for the divine feminine. Though the experience can be painful, it opens the door to a deeper understanding of herself and her journey. This phase is not about loss. It is about rediscovering the strength, wisdom, and love that have always existed within. As the divine feminine moves forward, she begins to see her path with greater clarity. The challenges she faced become stepping stones toward a more authentic and fulfilling life. With each step, she grows more confident in her ability to navigate life's uncertainties, no longer defined by what was lost, but empowered by what she has gained. This newfound strength allows her to embrace her independence without closing her heart to the possibility of love. The lessons learned during this time extend beyond the twin flame connection. The divine feminine's journey becomes a testament to resilience and transformation. She learns to trust her intuition, follow her passions, and create a life that aligns with her soul's purpose. Her growth is not measured by the presence or absence of her divine masculine, but by the peace and fulfillment she finds within herself. This experience also deepens her connection to the spiritual realm. As she releases expectations and surrenders to divine timing, she opens herself to greater guidance and insight. Her faith becomes a source of strength, allowing her to navigate the unknown with grace and confidence. She no longer seeks answers outside herself, trusting instead that everything she needs is already within her. Moving forward, the divine feminine steps into a future filled with possibility. Her journey is no longer defined by waiting or longing, but by the choices she makes each day. Whether her path leads to reunion with her divine masculine or a different kind of love, she knows that her happiness is not dependent on anyone else. She carries the lessons of this experience with her, using them to create a life that is rich, meaningful, and aligned with her highest truth. In the end, the breaking of the soul contract becomes a catalyst for growth, not an end to the journey. The divine feminine emerges stronger, wiser, and more connected to her true self. Her story is one of transformation, proving that even the most difficult moments can lead to a life filled with love, purpose, and endless possibility.